Hi guys, this is the second video. Before this, you should have you should have watched Topic versus Main Idea. If you haven't watched that yet, please go back to my YouTube channel and watch it. So today, we are going to start looking at nonfiction texts, and all of the nonfiction texts that you read this week have the same topic. So after reading this, I'm going to talk to you about what the topic is. But today's objective is I'm going to show you how to find the main idea of a nonfiction text and then also the supporting details that go along with that main idea. To do that, I'm going to do a graphic organizer, and it's the same graphic organizer you're going to do on your own with a different nonfiction article. So I'd like you to follow along as I read this nonfiction text. It's called Calling All Pigeons. How would you send a message without a computer or a telephone? Before electronic technology, people attached messages to the legs of pigeons and sent the pigeons off to deliver the messages. Everyone from Persian kings of old to the French during World War II used these birds to ask for help or send military commands. Though electronic technology has made sending birds obsolete, people still raise and send them racing through the skies. Carrier pigeons zoom along at 60 miles per hour, 97 kilometers per hour. They live in Europe, Asia, and Africa. Pigeons have 360-degree vision, but what makes them ideal messengers is their homing ability. This skill allows them to never be lost. Once pigeons have visited a station, they can fly between stations without losing their way. Trainers support this instinct with food rewards. The only time it doesn't work is when the weather is foggy or on very cloudy days. Pigeons have been trained to fly between stations for ages. The Greeks used pigeons to tell who won the various events at the ancient Olympic Games. Julius Caesar and the Romans used pigeon messengers to send information to faraway forts. Genghis Khan built many relay pigeon stations across Asia. Charlemagne, a king of France, declared that pigeon raising was only for people of noble birth. In modern times, it was in 1870 the pigeons came back into favor as messengers. At that time, Paris was under attack by the Prussians from Germany, who cut off all regular communications. The French turned to pigeons to carry orders and news. The French first tried stuffing messages into hollow metal balls and floating them down the Seine, which is the river that runs through Paris and out into the countryside. But this method was not working. 6 days after the battle began, 3 pigeons were sent off with messages. Within that same day, they returned after successfully having delivered their messages. When an end to the battle came 4 months later, 409 pigeons had been used. This was the first instance in modern wartime that the pigeons were used to send messages. World Wars I and II found many pigeons winging their way over battlefields. Because they proved useful during the battle in Paris, many pigeon lofts were built in the city. By the end of the First War, France had 30,000 pigeons. The Germans built their own lofts and sent pigeons into the sky with cameras strapped to them. These tiny flying photographers were eventually replaced with planes. But the pigeons had heroic flights throughout the wars to save battalions under attack. Currently, pigeons are not used to send messages in war. Instead, they carry blood samples from remote regions to city centers. They are also used to locate people and boats that are lost at sea. Pigeons are very good at this task because they can see all around themselves as they fly. Some police departments in India use carrier pigeons to send daily messages between stations. The next time you need to send a message, think about all the different ways that people have used pigeons. Maybe you'll send a message by pigeon one day too. Okay, one important thing I want to talk about before we talk about the main idea in details is that nonfiction texts have these types of text features. The did you know? Here's another did you know? The photograph and the caption. It's important not to skip these. They always give extra information that is also important. So I'm going to go back and read these now. In 2001, pigeons were used to transmit internet data as a joke. Each message contained a short message from one computer to another. Unfortunately, it took an hour and 42 minutes to transfer a short message back and forth. Here's another, did you know? A pigeon named Cher Ami, or Amy, saved the lives of a battalion of American soldiers during World War I when he successfully delivered a message calling off a friendly artillery attack on their position. The pigeon was awarded France's highest military medal for its bravery. And then down here, it's British soldiers handling carrier pigeons during World War II. Okay, so let's talk first about the topic. I know that this is something about animals, specifically about pigeons. But what you're going to notice this whole week when you're reading articles is the topic is about how humans use animals. So I want you to hold on to that topic. I'm going to show it on the graphic organizer after this, but it's how humans use animals. Okay, so now let's talk about the main idea. Thinking about the topic, how humans use animals, what are they saying in this article as the main idea? So I'm going to use a highlighter tool to first highlight the main idea. Usually, but not always. I want to repeat that. Usually, but not always. You can find the main idea actually written in the text. Again, it's not always going to tell you the main idea, but this one I think does a pretty good job of telling you what the main idea is. And this whole article is about how pigeons are used basically to deliver messages, right? So I can see in this first paragraph here that there is a good sentence that could kind of tell me what the main idea of this text is. So right now I want you to reread this first paragraph and find what you think will be the main idea. So I want you to pause this now and find what you think the main idea is. All right, so you should have paused. This sentence right here kind of shows the main idea. Before electronic technology, people attached messages to the legs of pigeons and sent the pigeons off to deliver the messages. So basically, the main idea of this text is that, you know, we're living in an age right now of technology, but before technology, pigeons were used to carry messages and they attached them to the legs. So now I'm going to find 3 supporting details that support the main idea that I just found. So again, these details should show that people attach messages to the legs of pigeons to send messages. So I would like you to reread the article and find 3 text examples that you think support the main idea. So please do that now. Okay, so right away you might have found there's a detail right here. Everyone from Persian kings of old to French during World War II used the birds to ask for help or send military commands. That one's not very specific, but technically it would be a supporting detail. So again, I'm looking through the text and seeing where I can find here. So in this paragraph, there is a detail that shows that, it shows how pigeons were used. Here it says the Greeks used pigeons to tell basically who won at the Olympics. Julius Caesar and the Romans used the pigeons to send information. Genghis Khan, he had relay stations across Asia. This whole paragraph has 1, 2, 3, 4 different supporting details. So really, you're going to choose what's most important or what you think best shows the main idea. But I'm just showing you right now that although I'm asking for 3 supporting details, there might be more. Okay, so I'm going to go through the rest of the text and see what else I could find. So this paragraph here, I would probably need to paraphrase it and kind of shorten it if I were to put it in my graphic organizer. So it talks about a battle and they had to send out 400 different 9 pigeons to basically give messages to the other troops. So that could be right there. That could be a detail. Here you could find the Germans. Oopsies. Germans built their. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Hang on. Undo. Okay. Here it says the Germans built their own lofts and they sent pigeons into the sky with cameras trapped to them. So that was basically, to kind of like spy. So German. Why does this keep happening? Sorry, I'm trying to edit. I'm trying to highlight this, guys, and it's just not really working for me. So that's something I could highlight. The Germans built their own lofts and sent pigeons into the sky. Okay, so I have provided lots of different supporting details to go along with my main idea. So I am going to then fill out the graphic organizer and show you how you would do that when you read your own nonfiction article.